I'm LittleKuriboh, and you're watching Day Zero TV.
Hello. You guys hear that? Hey, I think Slender Man's nearby. I think that's what just happened.
Slender Man. Uh-oh.
Uh-oh. I have a few things prepared.
Hey, it's cool. Just don't look at it.
Okay. It's cool. Just don't look at it. He only wants $20. That's right. I got an email from a fan. Let me find it. In fact, it'll be in my sent mail if it's anywhere. I mentioned this on Twitter the other day, but I don't think I don't know how many of you saw it. Here we go. Here we go. I'll read you the email that I got first. Hey there. Oh no, this is my... Hey LittleKuriboh, me and my boyfriend are massive fans of this show. Alas, we've basically given up on the show to A, advertise conventions you'll be at. B, exploiting the characters while playing video games and acting as if that is good enough to appease fans. I think it's good enough. So, as an incentive, which they spelled with an S, for every new episode you make, I will send a topless fan pic. Come on, let's see this series to the very effing end, all my love. And I wrote a reply. I said, hey there, and I won't say the name. As glad as I am that you have such a high opinion of yourself, I'm married and would very much appreciate not receiving any topless photos of yourself. However, I can get you in touch with Team 4-Star if you like. As I'm sure they could use all the encouragement they can get. I'm sorry you don't like me promoting other people's work and conventions at no profit to myself. However, from now on, every time you send me an email complaining, I will post a topless picture of myself to my website as an incentive to get you to stop. Thanks for watching the show, LittleKuriboh. So there you go. Just a warning to anybody who's thinking of doing something along those lines.
Oh man.
Oh man. Just don't look at him, you'll be fine. I don't know if I've done this in LA before. Like I've been to a few LA cons. I don't think I've ever been a guest at a Los Angeles convention. I think this is a first. That's pretty cool. But there was a thing that was being blogged on Tumblr for a while, about 4 or 5 months ago, that I really enjoyed, and it was basically Yu-Gi-Oh! Pickup lines. I don't know how many of you have Tumblr, but that was a big thing. It had like a few thousand reblogs, but I joined in, and here were a few of them that we came up with. And it was all in Yami's voice, because the image was of Yami. Yes! You just collected enough star chips to enter my heart. The reaction to these are always different. Sometimes it's sometimes it's ah. Are you a trap card? Because I want you in face down mode. This one's my favorite just because of how angry. It sounds really, because he's trying to flirt with people, but he sounds so angry. I've got a mind crush on you. I'm angry. Would you like to go on a date? And then there's oh, this one's pretty good. It's time to do me. Surely that's at the end of the date, I would think. Not right. That's not how you pick up girls. Are we two pieces of Exodia because our love is unstoppable? Aww. Why? I like this one. I haven't seen a girl as cute as you since Jade and Yuki. Do we have any Jadens here today? No. There's Jesse. Hey. Jesse, where's your boyfriend?
I lost him in the dark world.
You lost him in the dark world. Oh. Good job, Jesse. You had one job. And it was a job. Slender Man's here. Slender Man, where? What did you... That is amazing. Taking a picture of this. I'm going to take a panoramic picture, so I'm going to post a panoramic picture of this so people on my Twitter can try and figure out where he is. Oh. Isn't this entertaining watching me do this? There we go. Hey! Sweet. Yu-Gi-Oh! Abridged. What is it? I don't know. It is, I basically, a lot of people ask, how did you come up with the idea for Yu-Gi-Oh! Abridged? And it wasn't really a single idea that I had, it was something that just sort of happened when I got bored. I mean, some of the best ideas come to you when you're just not even trying. And this particular idea happened because the first experience I ever had with Yu-Gi-Oh! Was I went to the cinema in Glasgow, back in Scotland, to see, what movie was it? I can't remember. It was a Silent Hill movie, because I'm a huge Silent Hill nerd. The new one was terrible, by the way.
Yeah.
I like the original, kind of, but I came out of the Silent Hill movie and I saw a poster for Yu-Gi-Oh! The movie, and it had Yami on it, and I was like, what the hell is this? I was like, this is just a rip-off of Pokemon, right? Which, a lot of people say the same thing when they first see a picture from Yu-Gi-Oh! Or they see, like, the show. And I remember catching it one morning and thinking, why are they so excited about the trading card game? I don't get it. And then I watched a few more episodes and I still kind of didn't get the trading card aspect of it, but I loved the characters. Like, I don't know about you guys, but I genuinely love the characters from Yu-Gi-Oh! And the story. It's really I really do think it's a great show. I mean, the card game aspect of it is kind of, I don't know, but everything.
I don't care about it either.
What?
Card aspect, that's all.
Pegasus
Yeah.
card on those cards.
Pegasus
I
is
like
what
the
card.
card on those cards.
The characters are alright though.
Yeah, but the characters I love and the story I really love, and it's something that none of the other series have done quite as well as Duel Monsters, in my opinion. It's only an opinion. But a lot of the other shows haven't really had, in the same way the Duel Monsters had, a beginning, middle, and an end. And I feel like a lot of the others, like 5Ds, I think did a good job for the first 2 seasons because that felt like an actual story with a beginning, middle, and an end. But then they kept going with it, and it kind of felt like they were treading water a lot. But Duel Monsters will always have a special place in my heart for that reason, just because I love the story and the characters. But yeah, I believe, is it a question and answer session we have, or do I turn to you for anything? Are you just here to look pretty? Good job. Oh God. Slender Man's right over there as well. It's terrifying. But yeah, if you guys have any questions, feel free to throw your hand up and I'll try and answer them to the best of my abilities, or whatever you guys want me to do. No? No questions? Yes, Amy.
Are you gonna keep doing the Mary Plays Bloodlines?
I am going to keep doing the Marriott Plays Bloodlines. Yes! Foxy boxes. Somebody gave me like a miniature Foxy box at one convention. I can't remember which one it was. I think it was Otakon. Ooh. Slender Man. No, bad. But they gave me like a miniature like cardboard Foxy box with like a fox's face and a tail and everything. I thought it was really cute. But yeah, I really want to keep doing this. I actually just released a new part which appropriately had the Slender Man in it. He cameoed, he walked into the room and helped Melvin play the game. That was the Halloween special, which I was very proud of. But he will keep going. It's a very long game, so we'll see if I ever finish it. But yeah, I have no plans to stop doing it, and I want to do more Let's Plays, if possible, with different characters. And whenever I bring this up, people always suggest different things. So if you want to shout things out, feel free. But the main ones I always get are somebody plays Skyrim, or somebody plays Amnesia, and it's usually either Tristan plays Skyrim or Kaiba plays Skyrim. But I think it would be great if Kaiba played Minecraft, because then he could, like, every time he's digging for minerals, he's like, oh my god, a giant rock. I've been building the Kaiba Corp tower and then coming back and then creepers just exploding into. He's like, what the hell happened? Anyone have any suggestions for games, or do you guys have questions? Chrono.
If Yami plays New Vegas, which faction would you support?
If Yami played New Vegas, which faction? Well, he can't support Caesar's Legion because he's the pharaoh, and if they're worshipping Caesar, that's kind of not cool in his book. He'd probably go for himself, honestly, because like that's my favorite thing about New Vegas is you can kind of just go your own way and rule the wasteland yourself. So I think he would be totally down for that. But none of this bottle cap nonsense. You're paying me real money. You owe me money! Well, that was pretty cool. Anybody else have any suggestions for video games? Yes? No?
Well, I had a question.
Oh, go ahead.
How do you feel now that Disney has bought out Lucasfilm?
So you guys aren't cool with it, it sounds like. I'm all for it, personally. Did you guys see Wreck-It Ralph? Yeah! Wasn't that awesome? And didn't they have a... Did you see the Avengers? I know, right? And that's them working with other people's properties, essentially. Like, they paid tribute, in my opinion, to old video games, like actual licensed games. They did a really good job of actually going out of their way to be, like, paying a homage to it. I thought they did wonderfully. I was in tears watching that movie. It was great. It was fantastic. Like, I don't know if some of you guys haven't seen it, I'm not going to spoil it, but if you do go watch it, if you go home and you look at all the games that you kind of thrown away because you feel like they're broken or glitched, you can look at them, I'm sorry! Sorry.
Kind of like Toy Story.
Kind of like Toy Story, yeah, exactly. I felt there was a very similar feel to it, and I was very happy. I was really, really pleasantly surprised with Wreck-It Ralph. I went into that feeling very cynical because it was about video games. I was like, there's no way they're going to do it justice, but I really, really loved it. If you guys haven't seen it, go see it because it's fantastic.
Especially since most video game movies always tend to suck.
Yeah, and the great thing about this game movie was that it wasn't about a specific game, so they could have little tributes here and there, but as long as they got the important thing right, which again is story and characters, which they did a great job with, that's the important thing, and they did a great job. Yes?
How'd you feel about Sonic making a cameo in the movie?
How do I feel about Sonic making? Oh, I mean, it was funny. Yeah, that's what he said. It was fine. Yeah, there was nothing wrong with it. I mean, if you like Sonic, he's there, and then he's gone, and you're like, that was Sonic. And then if you like other characters, that was Zangief, that was Robot, and you see him, and they're there, and it's like, cool, that's it. And fortunately, the movie works without having to rely on those, so I was really happy with it, yeah. Anyone have any? Yes?
I have a video game.
Yes.
Would you be open to playing Yu-Gi-Oh! Worldwide Edition Stairway to the Destiny?
My goodness, that's a long title. Would I be open to playing Yu-Gi-Oh! Worldwide Stairway Edition Destined to the Stairway of the... Is it just about walking up a lot of stairs? Why are there so many stairs? I warned you about the stairs, Kai. I'm stuck. Sorry, what was the game? Yu-Gi-Oh! Stairway to the Stairway. Stairway to the Destined Duel. So it's leading up to the final episode of Yu-Gi-Oh! Essentially.
I think it's still in the Battle City.
It's in the Battle City. Which is the Destined Duel in that? You fight Marek. Yes, we are destined to throw cards around a lot. I mean, if I had any way of playing it and recording the footage, I wouldn't. Is it a Game Boy Advance game or something? Yeah. See, I don't have a Game Boy Advance. I have a 3DS. They don't play Game Boy Advance games, do they? Because, you know, I'll be done with it in a day. I don't think that's a good idea, but I appreciate the offer. But if I find video footage of it, maybe. But it's always kind of weird. Like, if I actually have the characters playing as themselves in the game, it doesn't seem nearly as funny as, say, Marek playing a vampire. I don't know. I mean, I could try it, I guess. I wouldn't be averse to it. I love some of the really bad translations in those games. I don't know how many you've played, but my favorite was like when you were playing in Nightmare Troubadour for the DS, whenever you had to go, because it was like, it took place over a day, each section of the game, and when you got to the night, you'd be like, I must go home because of slowing today. Okay? I don't know, he was tired, I guess. Are you cosplaying something with the eyes on the hat? What exactly are you? I don't know what that is, I'm sorry. The eyes are freaking me out. I'm sorry. It's very cool though. She's a frog girl? Oh, very cool, very cool. Anyone else have any questions about Yu-Gi-Oh! Or abridging or anything whatsoever? I could just, you have a question. Yes. Go ahead.
My question is, I know you're busy with how con everything. Do you feel like you're slowing the process of Yu-Gi-Oh! episodes?
Are you going to offer to send me topless pictures? Because that
Like every year it's like literally 4 episodes of Yu-Gi-Oh!
No,
Where you like really not
I mean, I've made less Naruto episodes than I have Yu-Gi-Oh episodes. I still love making the episodes. I'll be very honest. It's becoming increasingly harder for me to find the time to do it. I mean, and a lot of people do blame the conventions. It's true, but conventions are like 2 or 3 days in a week, and then I have 4 or 5 days aside from that to work on the episodes. And the truth is, it's usually not the conventions that get in the way. Conventions usually inspire me to actually work on episodes. I actually just finished an episode specifically for a convention. So, not this one, unfortunately. Sorry. I just released an episode the other day. So I didn't really have time, but I will be releasing episode 58 very, very soon. But regarding your question is whether I mean, obviously sorry?
Because my question is, what happens if, in case, I want to say, if for some circumstances, you don't pass away too soon?
Oh. If I die before you go,
You can blame Slender
Is
Man.
that like regular handle your licensing over?
my licensing. If I don't finish it,
Yeah.
what? Have a kid? Have a kid specifically so that I can pass on my voice talents. Read him the script for Yu-Gi-Oh! Abridged as a bedtime story. Him with the character voices.
So will that motivate you to make more episodes?
Because I might die. I mean, Slender Man is right over there. I like how committed he is. Sorry. Yeah. But if I die, I mean, I hope I won't die. My main concern is losing, like, I actually do feel, and this is a serious answer, that I'm kind of losing some of the voices, like, because they changed, and some of the voices I feel like I'm really struggling to do lately, like Taya is a real pain, and that she was always not that great, but nowadays it's like, she's gone kind of from down here to me down here, to me up here, and it sounds really weird, I don't know how that happened. But I don't know, I do hope that I finish the episodes, but like I said, my main concern is losing the voices, and also that everybody, at a certain point, everyone will just sound like Grandpa. It's time to duel! No, it's not, Yugi. Screw the rules, I have money. I'm going to take your leather pants. Shut up, Manic. Could always get what? No whacking? Yeah, I mean, I have considered asking an actual female actress to play the role of Taya, but I like how goofy it is. I like how it really just seemed ridiculous, and it kind of adds to the humor sometimes. But I do feel bad that the episode updates have slowed down as of late, and that is all on me. And my problem is that I always stretch myself way too thin with everything in my life, like everything, not just like the hobby stuff, but with my work. Everything, but so it's really a case of I have to focus on one thing at a time. And right now I'm really trying to focus on getting season 3 finished, and hopefully I'll get that done by hopefully the end of this year. If not, then the first few months of next year, and then we'll be right into season 4, and then we'll keep going. We'll keep going. It will happen. I will finish the series, I promise, before I die.
Okay, one more question before
Sure.
You ever think about making another music video? And I thought about it, like, it would be funny to see it. If you do Joey doing the song Boys Like Me, because you have that nya all the time.
I don't know that song. What song? How's it go?
I think it's like, I like what guys want, I like what, you know.
No, I don't.
But it would be funny.
It could be funny. I don't know the song, but
It's an 80s song.
it's an 80s song. Why don't I know this song?
It's like, I know what guys like,
I love 80s music. Why don't I? He knows it.
Yeah.
Come sing it. No?
Go for it!
He knows 2 lines from the song. Oh, well. Ah, well. Well, I have thought about I love doing music videos. I love doing the song parodies. And some people say that writing song parodies is kind of lazy, but I feel very differently because I've written them and I know how difficult it could be and how difficult getting the music right. I'm a terrible singer, I don't know if you've noticed. But one idea I had for a long time, and I've probably talked about this many times at different conventions, is I want to do a Yu-Gi-Oh! Musical, like a full-on musical for the whole show. And so an idea I've had for like 3 years, and I've never really sat down and committed to it because I've been busy trying to make episodes. But I really want to do it where it's like the first season is one half-an-hour musical, and then like eventually if that took off, then I do another one as another half-an-hour musical, and then another one for each season. But my favorite part would probably be when Tristan in the first season is on the boat on the way to Duelist Kingdom, and a spotlight comes down on him, and he says, "The sun will come out tomorrow, bet your bottom dollar that tomorrow the sun will come out in a few hours." I don't know what that means. I thought that'd be very funny. Oh my goodness, that's true. Yeah. I showed my wife Trapped in the Closet for the first time recently, and she was not impressed, to say the least. But yeah, maybe. Anybody else? Yes. You.
What has been the character you...
Oh, thank you, sir. Yes. Is this for the charity drive? Oh, thank you so much, man. I appreciate it. Is this from the Pegasus, the Duelist Kingdom thing?
All three of ours.
Oh, wow. That's awesome, man. Plastic. Thank you so much. What is... Slender Man! Cut it out! I'll hold this. Oh! I should mention, I will be in the dealer's hall right in the far corner if you guys do want to donate cards or come by and say hey, or even buy something, I don't know. So please don't all walk up and give me stuff, because I feel bad that you guys, but thank you so much, man, I really appreciate that. But Slender Man, seriously, I would appreciate it if my audience survived this panel. Okay? You had a question, sorry.
So, of all the characters that you have worked in, which one do you feel is the easiest one to make fun of, and which one has given you the biggest challenge?
Oh, which is the easiest to make fun of, and which is the biggest challenge for the characters? Easiest to... Marek is the easiest to make fun of. I mean, look at him. I'm sorry, Marek. I'm very sorry, but you have a rod, and you have the outfit is alone is rife for parody. But the hardest one to make fun of? I don't know. I mean, I always find Yami difficult to write for, but apparently people think he's one of the funniest characters. I think it's very fun to write as an egomaniacal character, like a guy who's really full of himself. It's just fun to play around with that. I mean, maybe there's secretly a part of me that is really full of myself, I don't know. But yeah, Yami's difficult. Duke Devlin gave me a lot of problems early on. It was only really when I added the theme music that something clicked and I knew how to do it. Like, I actually, when I made that episode originally, I played it through, the theme music wasn't there, and I was like, this is terrible, this is the worst episode I've ever done. Played the theme music, this is the best episode I've ever done. I don't know, something just worked magically with that. It was really weird, but I don't know. They're all easy and difficult in their own ways. I always struggle with everybody, but it works out in the end. Tristan is fun to make fun of as well. Just because you can say anything as Tristan, it'll be funny. I once on a panel recited Shakespeare as Tristan, and people were dying, and I'm like, this is serious drama, you guys. What are you doing? Anybody else have any questions? Oh, so you're telling them to raise their hand. I thought you had a question. Somebody way in the back.
Oh, who's your favorite character?
In the Abridged series or in the actual series?
In either series.
In either one. In the original series, Yugi's my favorite character, just because he's the kind of guy I aspire to be, and I do mean that. Like the actual Yugi Moto character is somebody who, you know, if I could be anybody, I would want to be that guy, because he always does the right thing, and he always does something that is, he always puts his friends before him, and it's one of the most difficult things to do as a human being, is to put somebody else before you in every situation. And if you think about it, anytime Yugi's put in that position, he always thinks of his friends. And I can't say that, and I wish I could, because I mean, as people, we're just naturally selfish, but Yugi is very, very much so about other people. I actually was very honored to get, did you guys know Team 4-Star? Yeah! The Rebels Abridged guys. We went to a convention in Canada, and my friend Kerbifer had brought the Yu-Gi-Oh! Manga with him. And it was, I don't know how many of you read the manga, but it was from the Death Tea tournament, where Tristan essentially has just died. He didn't really die, but they think he's dead. And it's a very traumatic scene, because Yugi's essentially about to give up he's like in despair because of everything that's happening. And Joey turns to him and essentially says, well, you always say, you know, that you know, I've forgotten exactly how he phrased it, but he essentially says that you always say that, you know, we changed you, but the truth is that you changed us, and you made me a better person, is what Joey says. And Yugi, at that point, Yugi realizes it, and he realizes how important his friends are. And we actually were sitting on stage reading this manga as the characters, as a short interval for the panel. And my friend Kaiser Neko, who does the direction for Team 4-Star, was playing Joey, and he was talking to me as Yugi. Oh, I think it was me as Yugi. It was something along those lines. But he was saying those lines, and he started crying. And afterwards, I was like, why were you crying, man? And he was like, because I realized that that's what you've done for me. And I was like, oh. And we both kind of cried and had a hug. And I realized, well, if for one moment in my life I could be Yugi, then if I could do that for one person, it would be for my friend Scott. So, you know, I was very happy to be able to be Yugi for a very brief moment in my life. But as far as abridged characters go, again, I'd have to go back to Marek.
Because he's the opposite of everything I just said. Slender Man, you moved! Slender Man, you can't be on the panel, okay? I know you want to be. I'm sorry. Oh no!
He's so disappointed. I'm very sorry. Did you want to ask a question, Slender Man? No? Okay. Anybody else have any questions? Yes, right.
Can you name us a few of the actors who played your characters?
Which ones?
Any.
Yugi was played by LittleKuriboh. Joey was played by LittleKuriboh. I'm sorry?
Can you do his voice?
Yeah, super special, awesome, all over homo.
Yes, we'll take his leather pants, Brooklyn Rage.
Very similar voices, right? I'm sorry?
I think that song, that Leather's Pants song
Yes.
you talked about, I think I saw that on YouTube.
I believe it is on YouTube, yeah. But yeah, I do most of the voices, but sometimes the guys from Team 4-Star help out. They played the Big Five in the recent Virtual World arc. And my friend Kerbifer did the voice of Noah for that season as well. That was a huge, I thought he did a great job with that. But usually it's just me, just because I'm lazy and I don't know how to direct people, you know. But yeah, did you have another question?
Oh, I have a question for Ryan Bakura.
Hello.
Hi, Ryan.
There's a very scary man over there.
Don't look
Okay.
at the not face.
The not face.
Yeah, just don't look at it.
Okay.
Okay. I have a question for you. How does it feel to be a limey fruitcake?
I don't know. That was very rude. How does it feel to be a rude person? I bet it feels worse than it does to be a line. Oh my goodness. Hello, scary not-faced man. I have a scary friend who'd like to meet you. He's my other me.
Does that answer the question? Okay, I think so. You had a question,
Okay,
sir.
I'm a real fan of the dark sequences. Can I hear a little bit of that real quick?
I don't voice darts, unfortunately. I should have mentioned Takahata 101, the voice of Nappa in Dragon Ball Z. He does of Dragon Ball Z Abridged. He does the voice of darts, but he's hilarious. A lot of his ad libs end up making it into the show just because he's funnier than what I write. So, but yeah, look forward to him being in season 4. That'll be a lot of fun to play around with. But yeah, Jesse.
Yeah, since I'm directing...
Did you find your boyfriend yet?
No, it's payback for the time he lost me in the dark world. But yeah, since I'm directing a spin-off today, I was wondering if you had favorite characters from the other series?
From all the other series?
Yeah.
I like, I know he's Show in GX, but Cyrus,
Yeah.
I like him a lot. He's kind of crazy. 5Ds, Jack Atlas is pretty awesome. It's like, he's somehow more manly than Kaiba, you know? And I haven't actually watched enough Zexal to know who my favorite is from that, unfortunately. I like the Gaga. Is it Gaga girl? Is that her name?
Yeah.
I saw a cosplayer for that at my last convention. I was like blown away. It was fantastic. But no, I don't know enough about the characters, unfortunately. Yes, the N7.
Who's your which did you voice any other characters in like Team in any other projects like with Team Force?
Yeah, I for Dragon Ball Z Abridged, I'm the voice of the narrator and I'm the voice for Frieza, which was a huge honor for me, just because I hadn't actually seen much Dragon Ball Z, but I knew what a big deal that character was. And to be asked to play that role, and from what I can tell, people really liked me in the role. From what people have said, they said I made a very like, not only a funny Frieza, but a very intimidating Frieza. And you can see I'm not very intimidating in person. But to have people compliment me on the performance for that was a huge honor, just because. Oh, thank you. Like I said, I haven't seen much of the show, so I was really flying blind. But I went with what they wrote for me, and I tried my best. My original thought for the voice that I did was he's kind of Space Napoleon. I don't know. Man, people kind of say he sounds like a British Mokuba. If you did. Big brother. Is it time for my cameo yet? But as far as other voices go, I played a few other characters. I was Shanks in Non-Peace by Purple Eyes WTF. He's a hilarious guy. And it's not really an abridged series, but there's a series called Tome that my friend Kurboh makes. It's a flash animation on Newgrounds, and I play one of the main characters called Nylok, who's like an over-the-top role player, and I really enjoy that. He has this catchphrase where he says like, "Nylok, dragon of the cold steel," and he goes whoosh off the screen. It's a lot of fun. But aside from that, I can't really think of anything offhand. I actually did get cast in a few things like professionally recently, which I was very excited about. The first thing I ever got cast in was a game that my wife was reading for, and when she auditioned, she asked me to jump in the booth, which was our closet, with her and read a dialogue with her opposite her, because she was told by one of her teachers that if she ever gets a dialogue as an audition, she should actually have somebody to play off of. And so I jumped in and I did the other guy. And she was auditioning for the main character, and so the person who ended up listening to the audition and casting her as the main character liked the chemistry that we had, which is always nice to know that me and my wife have actual chemistry. But he ended up casting me as the other main character who talks to her over the radio, and he's Egyptian, which I thought that was pretty fantastic. But yeah, those are all the ones I can talk about right now. Rainbow Dash.
About the Let's Play?
Yes.
Have you get any chance to play Borderlands?
I have the game, I just haven't actually had a chance to sit down and play it. I've been busy with so many different things. But right now I'm playing, what's it called? Dishonored right now, which it's kind of fun. I'm not really blown away by it, but I do want to check out Borderlands and the sequel, but I just haven't had time yet. But if I do, I'm sure I'll be able to think of somebody to play that. Yes, with the hat.
In the eventuality that you do finish Yu-Gi-Oh! Abridged,
yes,
would you move on to another anime series to Abridged?
If I finish Yu-Gi-Oh! Abridged, I'll probably won't do any more Abridged series, unfortunately. I mean, I'm sorry, I do still do the Naruto parody, which I really enjoy, but I just feel like there are other things I can do with my abilities that. No, I'm not saying that abridging isn't worth my time. I would still, obviously help other people out and do voices for other people, but I just don't want to do abridged for my whole life, is essentially what I'm saying. And they'll reach a point where I don't think I'll be able to do an effective young boy voice anymore, which is probably very soon. But if I do, one thing I want to do with my life more than anything else is write. So I'll probably just go on to try and be a writer if I can, hopefully. I really hope so, but yeah, I probably won't do any more abridging after Yu-Gi-Oh! Abridged is done. But that's probably, at the rate I'm going, that probably won't be for another 10 years. So, somebody wear the, no! Somebody wear the back, right behind the Pikachu, the guy, yes.
Yes, what would you say is the voice that most challenges you as a voice actor?
As an actor, because a lot of the voices that I do aren't really acting in my opinion, they're just goofy voices, but as an actor, Frieza is probably way up there, just because it's hard to do a voice that sounds, it's potentially a really silly voice, but you have to really sort of walk the line between silly and actually giving an actual performance. And that's one of those voices for me. As far as just the most challenging to do, if you've seen my Naruto series, the Naruto voice is really difficult to do for more than 5 minutes at a time! Before collapsing. I actually, the first time I did the Bakura voice, not the real Bakura, but the Yami Bakura down here, somebody squealed. he was very difficult to actually do for a long period of time, because I was doing the voice, and I wasn't really used to doing voices at the time. It was still early on in the series, but I was exhaling a lot while doing the voice, because he's very whispery, and that's kind of part of the character. And I was doing that so much that I almost fainted, because I was breathing out so much that I thought I was not going to be able to do the voice just because of that. But I figured out how to maintain and actually, do that voice effectively without, blacking out, which is a relief. Fortunately, it makes all the fangirls black out when I do it, so if I did, nobody would notice. Somebody in the front row, yes, you had a question.
What was it like when you were doing season 0? What was it like to change your mindset to evil Yami?
Well, season 0 Abridged, I actually really do enjoy doing, and the main difference between regular Yami and Yami in regular Yu-Gi-Oh! Abridged and season 0 Yami is, this is how I approach him. He's an insane game show host. And that's essentially the character I'm playing, because he literally has the lines in the first episode being like, "Want to play a game? First one to die loses." And I feel that pretty much suits his character. I don't really try and make him evil so much as just completely like, he thinks of people's lives as playthings, because he doesn't really understand, what's happening. But I'm looking forward to doing the next season 0 Abridged. I kind of skipped an episode, which I'm going to go back to, which is the episode where the guy breaks out of prison and goes to the diner. Yeah, I skipped that episode originally. And I don't know how many of you have seen season 0 or read the manga, but what happens is Yami sets a guy on fire. And then Taya falls in love with Yami right afterwards. I don't know how these two things are connected, but it does happen. But I am looking forward to doing that episode, and many more season 0 episodes to come as well, because I think Bakura is interesting in that season as well. He's insane, and he does that thing where he stabs himself on the castle tower, which is just, you wouldn't see that in the Duel Monsters show. But yeah, that's how I approach his character. Somebody else, way on the right with the Andros. Yes.
I'm wondering when, I like a question for Bandit Keith.
Yes.
When are you going to be back in the series?
When am I going to be back? Well, when America decides that I should be back. The easiest character to write for. He has to say something about America. There you go. Slender Man has a question. That's pretty awesome. You kind of sound like you have a cold. I don't know if it's the thing over your head. But yeah, if you want to be in the movie, feel free, Slender Man. I really love Slender Man, like as a character, and the whole mythos around him and everything. The fact that there have been so many Slender Man cosplayers at conventions now freaks me out. It's so cool. And there are a few Masky cosplayers here as well. You're cosplaying Masky, kind of. Do you guys watch Marble Hornets?
Yes.
A few of you, okay. But yeah, Slender Man's cool, in my opinion. I can't wait for Slender Man to get his own movie. Like his own real movie. I expect it will be happening very soon, because, it's huge. It's huge right now. But I actually do want to do a sequel to Concrete Giraffes, the Marek video. I've been talking about it for a long time, and basically the gist of it will be Slender Man has obviously become a movie star, but his movies have started to sort of flop. He was a big star, but now he's like kind of past his prime, and so his agent, who is Masky, tells him he has to go back to his roots, which involves him being, the evil Slender Man, who is terrifying. But he tries to terrify American Bakura, and they just don't buy it. So he's like hanging out outside their house, like staring through the window, and they're like, "Why is that guy on our lawn? Get the hose, Bakura, I'm gonna spray him down. See what happens." I thought that'd be pretty funny. But yeah, you can be in the movie anytime you want, Slender Man. Right in the front row, yes.
Okay, would you ever consider doing like commentary for like TV shows, like who, I don't know, Cat watches Doctor Who or something
would I ever consider having the Yu-Gi-Oh! Abridged cast watch a show like Doctor Who? Like Mystery Science Theater, yeah. Oh yeah, I have actually wanted to do, I haven't thought about doing it as characters, but I've wanted to do an iRiff. You guys know riff tracks, right? Yeah. I wanted to do an iRiff of the Yu-Gi-Oh! Bonds Beyond Time movie and actually bring that to conventions and like do it live where I'm like commenting on the movie as myself and maybe do some character voices as well. I thought that would be pretty cool. But I've never considered doing that, but that's a pretty good idea. I hadn't thought about that, but I'm sure it's rife for potential. I think that's pretty cool. But yeah, somebody on this side, yes, holding your arm up like that.
Oh, yeah.
Yes, yes.
Okay, I want to ask LittleKuriboh his opinion on the season 0 LittleKuriboh.
My opinion on season 0 LittleKuriboh. The guy's creepy. See that guy? He's way more creepy than that guy. I don't know why he listens to his brother. That's ridiculous. Is that okay? Anybody? Yes, right there.
I have a question for Yami.
Yes.
What's the relationship between you and Yusei?
What is the relationship between me and Yusei? There's a four-word phrase that I can use to describe our relationship. You guys don't know what it is. All of the homo. There we go. What is the name of that ship? It's synchro shipping, really. I thought it was like, no, isn't that like a protagonist shipping or something like that? Synchro shipping, that makes sense. That's right, Jaden and Yusei. How would that work? I don't know how Yusei would put up with him.
You put up with worse.
Gotcha. Yes, we're in the back.
In regards to Pegasus, is he related to James from Pokemon?
Very, very distantly. I don't know if you've noticed, but every so often when Pegasus is off screen, Victory Bell just shows them. It's deleted scenes. They get the comparison a lot, but I always thought that they sounded pretty distinctly different personally. I mean, Pegasus is a more of a, he sounds way more intimidating than James, in my opinion. I think Pegasus makes a great villain, but a sympathetic villain, I think. But James is just goofy. Yes, Yami.
Have you ever met any of the actual voice actors from the actual series?
I was wondering if this question would happen. I have met a bunch of the voice actors from Yu-Gi-Oh! And there's been mixed results. The guy who plays Tristan and Yusei in the dub, he's actually on really good terms with me, and to the point where he actually said, and I don't know if I'm allowed to say this out loud, but he actually said he wanted to be in my show, which I kind of wanted, like, at the end of the virtual world arc, I kind of wanted when Tristan comes out of the pod, he'd be like, he'd speak with Greg Abbey's voice for a minute, and then he'd be like, oh, okay, I feel better now. I thought that was pretty cool. But I was worried just because he might get into trouble for doing the voice of Tristan in my show, because I know they have issues with that. Dan Green, I haven't actually met, but I have friends who have met him, and he seems very okay with the show. He does quotes from the show all the time. How long do we have, by the way? 7 minutes? I have a phone right here. We're good? 5 minutes? Okay. I can't say exactly who, but there are some voice actors who will flat out refuse to sign anything with my name on it because they're not cool with it. But I mean, it's their choice, you know. At the end of the day, they made the show, so they have the right to do that. It's not like they're being jerks or anything. They want to distance themselves from what I do, which I can totally understand. But it's cool that Greg Abbey is okay with it. I think that's pretty awesome. Anybody else? We have like, yes. Oh, did you say you had a question?
Yes.
Oh, we'll do you and then we'll do you.
I have a question from Merrick.
Yes.
How do you get perfect abs without trying?
How do I get perfect? I do try. What does that mean? I put a lot of effort into this body. Wow, that was really funny to somebody. He puts effort into his body. He exercises. That's ridiculous.
Yeah, I don't know how he does it. I wish I knew. If I knew, then I would also look like that. Maybe not quite like that. You had a question.
I have a question for Duke Devlin.
You guys have to do the theme music, I'm afraid.
Have you read 50 Shades of Grey yet?
Have I read 50 Shades of Grey? I live that.
I actually, at a convention I went to a few months back, they had a charity auction, and somebody had given me a copy of 50 Shades of Grey at the convention. Just in case, you know, just in case I needed it. And it was right at the end of the convention, so I held it up and I said, how much money would you guys donate if I destroyed this copy of 50 Shades of Grey? We raised 350 quid, which is like $800 or so, which is pretty awesome. And then they paid extra for me to eat some of the pages from it. It was worth it. We have time for a few more? Yes, way over there.
Hey.
Hey.
My name is Kenton. Nice to meet you.
Very nice to meet you.
And I do have one question for you. It's a character impersonation I've been doing.
Okay.
You want me to hear a Tristan impersonation?
Absolutely.
My voice gives me super strength.
No, my voice gives me super strength. That is pretty cool, man. You should be voice bros. Was that it?
Yep.
Sweet. So Homestucks are called Homestuck. Like fans of Homestuck are called Homestucks, right? And My Little Pony fans are called Bronies. What are fans of Adventure Time called? Do they have a name? They should have a name. Adventurers.
Yeah, adventurers.
Yes, that works. Or Tinies. Amy.
A question for Mary.
Yes.
Is it possible to just say my body is ready?
My body is ready. Do you have a question for Cora?
I do.
Yes.
I was going to ask you, do you tend to write out your episodes first, or is it a lot of ad-lib?
That was a serious question from you. I do write the episodes first, but there does tend to be a lot of ad-libbing as it progresses, and then I change things up as I go along. And it makes, I think some of the best stuff is usually the ad-lib stuff. You know, I mean, there was one part where, I think it was one of the charity videos I did, where the chorus says, "Let's stop acting like children." And in the back of my head I could hear Merrick going, "No, never!" I think we have time for one more question. 4 minutes? Okay. Yes.
I have a question for you.
Yeah.
Since you've done Yu-Gi-Oh! Abridged, and then you've done some of the Ninja Bridge, are you
Yes.
going to do anything else?
Am I going to do anything else? Like, to go from Yu-Gi-Oh! Bridge, Naruto spoof? If I could do anything else, if I could do any other series, and I've always wanted to do this, Tenchi Muyo Abridged. It's probably completely out of left field for me. But it was the first anime show I fell in love with, and if I could pay tribute to anything, it would be something like that. Wow, this is I'm surprised. But the only problem is, there's like 8 women on that show. No one of them all sound like this. Oh, hey, Ryoko. Hey, Aika, how you doing? I was going to see how Sasami was doing. Hi, Sasami. Hi, Aika. No. But yeah, if I could do anything else, it would be that. Absolutely. Yes, we're on the right. The Foxhound.
How hard was it to make weekly episodes?
That never actually happened. I know it sounds like I'm joking, but I said new episodes every week in one episode. It's obviously Melvin's favorite joke. But it never actually occurred that way. I said that I was going to do weekly episodes, but as soon as I said that, a month passed, and then 2 months passed, and then it just became much harder to find the time. And one of the reasons for that back then, and not so much these days I'm just too busy. Back then, I was really intimidated. I was like whenever people say, "Did you know it was going to become this big?" I'm always like, if I'd known, I would have been too scared, because this, you know, not that I love the fact that you guys love the show, but back in the day, I was very shy, very introverted, and that's one of the reasons I like Yugi so much, is because he is a shy guy. But if I'd known that one day thousands and thousands of people would like line up to come see the show or whatever, I would have been too scared to do it. But I never managed to do weekly episodes, unfortunately. As a result, I wish I could. If I did nothing else but Yu-Gi-Oh! Abridged, I'd be able to do it. So technically, it's not hard to do it. It's just hard to find the time to do it. It's a shame. Yeah. Way at the back there with the camera crew.
So how do you get past all the copyright laws with all this stuff?
How do I get past the copyright laws? I mean,
I mean, first of all, the people who make the show, from what I've heard, this is from what I've heard, I can't say officially, they essentially said, keep doing what you're doing, just don't make it a job, and we don't have an issue with it. So that's what I heard. That's obviously not official, and it's obviously not something that affects copyright law. The copyright aspect of it is, I don't make money off the show. So, in my opinion, it's a parody, it should be under fair use. But as far as like the videos getting taken down, I think obviously the videos do get taken down a lot, and the channel gets taken down a lot. What's happening there is that's automated on YouTube. It's YouTube's system that's doing that. No human being is actually pressing a button saying, LittleKuriboh needs to be taken down. If they were, then they would have sent me an email directly and said, please stop doing what you're doing. Never happened. Whenever that happens on YouTube, I just send a form, I fill out the form and I say, please put my video back up, it's fair use, it's parody, it goes straight back up again. So far as I know, no real issue exists. If it did, I wouldn't be doing this. You know, if somebody came to me and said, this is a problem, we don't want you to do this anymore, I would stop. Because the last thing I want to do is hurt Yu-Gi-Oh! Or the people who make it, because I owe them so much, you know, that's my opinion. But yeah, the way I avoid copyright issue is, I wait for it to happen, and if it happens, then that's it. I don't know. Orange hair, I assume that you're the Bleach guy, I forget his name. Ichigo.
More of a suggestion for commentary.
Yes.
Yu-Gi-Oh! Characters in NLP, because I'm pretty sure Pegasus will love Rarity. I really love that pink one.
Yu-Gi-Oh! Characters in My Little Pony.
Yes!
What?
It'll be like the Yu-Gi-Oh! Characters are watching.
Is the characters are watching it or the characters are in the show?
Watching.
Watching it.
Yes! Brilliant!
Everyone else seems to think it's a great idea, so... Maybe one day, maybe an April Fool's video, we'll see. We're good, we're done? Unfortunately, that's the last of the questions I can take, and it's a My Little Pony question, so... If there's any way to end my panel, it would be that way. But I do want to say thank you guys so much for coming to the panel, and thank you so much for coming to PMX as well. If you guys want to talk to me any more about anything, or just say hey, or get anything signed, come to the booth in the dealer's hall. It's right in the back corner, and you guys have a great day, have a great weekend here at PMX.
Hey guys, this is Jin of Day Zero TV, and I'm here with...
LittleKuriboh, also known as Martin Billany of Yu-Gi-Oh! Abridged.
Awesome, LittleKuriboh. You know, your work is fantastic. Just want to let you know.
Well, thank you. I appreciate it.
So, how did you get started in this whole abridging business, anyway?
I was bored, and then it happened. It's really as simple as that. I wanted to break into the Yu-Gi-Oh! Fandom, and it was one of those things. It was either I do fan fiction or I do fan videos. And I'd seen other fan dubs of Yu-Gi-Oh! Before, and they were good, and I enjoyed them. But I wanted to do something that was more like my own thing. It wasn't just a retelling of the same story. So I decided to take Yu-Gi-Oh! And remove the card game, which a lot of people think is the only thing there is to it, and actually explore the characters and the premise of the show, but make it funny. You know, so basically it's a very abbreviated version of the show with jokes in it that hopefully make people laugh.
Well, you made a whole fandom laugh.
I guess. It's kind of intimidating sometimes, but I do appreciate the fans, and getting to come to conventions like this and then see them and talk to them in person is one of the greatest things in my life.
Well, it's one of the greatest things to actually, you know, meet you and talk to you in person.
Hell yeah.
So, which character do you like voicing the most?
And Yu-Gi-Oh! Abridged, I really enjoy voicing Marek just because the way people describe him, the way I describe him sometimes is that when I get drunk, that's who I become. Marek is me without any kind of limitations, any kind of restrictions. Marek is just me, only without the evil aspect of it, I'd like to think. It's just me more obnoxious. That's who that is. But Marek's a lot of fun. Tristan's a lot of fun just because you can say anything in that voice and it's funny, you know?
Go and give it a shot.
Give it a shot? Okay. Trying to think of something to say. When all of Gotham is ashes, you have my permission to die. There we go.
Awesome, awesome. So how did you come up with your name, LittleKuriboh, anyway?
Kuriboh is like the mascot of Yu-Gi-Oh! And little because it's a little monster. I mean, obviously I'm not very little. I don't know if you've noticed.
No, he's not. He's like my size. Actually, he's a little bit taller than me.
I'm furry enough to be a Kuriboh, though, so there's that. But I was originally when I was gonna do fan fiction, I was gonna call myself Cursive Dragon, which is like cursive, like the writing style, and dragon because Curse of Dragon is a Yu-Gi-Oh card. It was a really bad pun. And the scary thing is, I give 4Kids, I make fun of 4Kids for doing bad puns, but that would have been the worst. That would have been really bad. But fortunately, we dodged a bullet, and I'm just LittleKuriboh.
Well, that's fine too. And everyone knows you as a LittleKuriboh. So, which anime if you had a choice, okay, which anime character would you voice, like, ultimately?
Any anime character whatsoever?
Yeah, any anime character from any anime series.
Meowth. Yeah, I love voicing like Maddie Blaustein's voice is fantastic, like the original Meowth, and people have told me I kind of do a halfway decent job of imitating some of their voices, and Meowth is an awesome character. I very, very interesting, like in the original Japanese, very philosophical, and in the actual dub, he's just a lot of fun to the things he says, and I'd love to voice something like that.
Can you give us a little test run on that?
Okay. Meowth, that's right. It's not that great.
That was pretty good. That was pretty good.
It was all right.
So, what about for video games?
Sorry?
Video games.
What about them?
Like, what about a character in a video game?
What character in a video game would I voice?
Yes.
I'm trying to think what voice. I don't know. I'd like to be Mario just because he gets all the, like, there's so many Mario games that I'd have so much work to do with that voice, I guess. I don't know.
So is there anything you'd like to change that you've already done at this point?
I'd like to update more, I guess. I'd like to do a lot, work faster, work harder, but no, I think everything's gone pretty much as well as I could hope for that it would. I've met some amazing people, and I've moved to America, so it's been pretty fantastic. I wouldn't change anything for the world.
Awesome. So any future projects planned?
I'm working on a video game called Crisis Heart Brawlers, which is the official Otakon video game, starring Johnny Young Bosch, who else? Johnny Young Bosch, Kylie Bear, Christina V, several people, and it's being worked on by some fantastic talent at Studio Nasu, and it's going to be a beat-em-up game in the style of Scott Pilgrim vs. the World, and I'm very excited.
Awesome. Well, it was great meeting you, LittleKuriboh, and I will see you again.
Fantastic, yes. What's the name of the website?
Oh, Day0. Day0.com.
Day0.com. Fantastic, yes.